Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
We sorry for that each day, 7:30 from our studios in New Englandville. Good morning and welcome to the first edition of the program, Good Morning Salone for this week, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. Today on Monday, May 11, 2020, we will bring this Monday edition of the program come to you. Mina Asma James.
And Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Inside this Monday edition of the program, Good Morning Salone, the Community Health Officer at Tumbo Health Center, Musukura Olive Valley, say the center not able for to get speaking right now because some people been born medicine, machine and other thing them inside the May 6 riots na Tumbo. The publicity secretary for the All People's Congress APC party, CDA at Tunis say, now because of injustice and intimidation plenty in the country, make political tension the high. And today inside the program, we go look within different people and institutions them for tap the violence in the country.
Well, this and plenty story them plus the press secretary in the State House, Yusuf Keke Thomas Andy, go talk about President's view in speech and other developments them where don't be in the country. This and plenty other story them there for you in the program. You say for the listen, you be part of the program through your text message to the number 077-981-981. The program now Good Morning Salone and they come to you from 98.1 FM. Well, as soon as from a headline this morning, today at the program, we get for a look at seeing them where don't they bring violence to the country and how as a country we for work for tap this. Well, at the program this morning, I want to welcome the head of IGR, Andrew Valley, where this being said we say IGR pull a report on waiting then think but the violence will be in Atumbo, the prisons and other parts in the country. Good morning, Mr. Lavalley, and welcome to the program.
Yes, good morning, Asma. Good morning, listeners.
All right, and we also want to welcome Valnora Edwin in democracy and good governance experts. I hope I get it right. Good morning, Valnora, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning.
Don't you get you now? All right, and we also want to welcome Yusuf Keke Thomas Andy from State House. They are for talk about waiting President Biobi talk on Friday and other developments in them. And also they get reports from live from Lunge as we understand say the Arab Emirates party them send some COVID-19 things them for Salone Fest the COVID-19. Good morning, Mr. Sandy, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Asma. Good morning, family. Where they listen to me across the country.
Well, now the guest and this will get to say the program, but we'll go take with first material. Maybe.
The first issue we'll look at inside the program this Monday morning, because of the plenty violence wouldn't they happen in the country, this PNC make plenty organization them don't they raise concern about security issue in the country. And one panel organization here na Peace Africa Alliance Consulting Education and Training Center, we don't raise concern about the issue them where don't they happen. For Sika then concern here. The African Regional Director for this organization, Charles Lahai, don't say for the violence them where they happen at the country, now serious concerns to the security sector. We make it a call on President Bio for address some of the problem them where don't they happen. Well, Charles Lahai explain more to Usman Kamara.
The numerous recent spate of violent events where they happen, where we concern about, where we consider say it gets to do with the safety, the security of people, and it also tantamount to undermining human rights, fundamental human rights and peace building, as well as the principles of peace, justice and national cohesion for Sierra Leone.
Right. Now, you talk about protecting people and rights. You know, if government need for protect people and rights, what do you think say the need for do for stop all these fracas will happen around?
For protect the rights of people, first of all, people need for live in a serene and comfortable environment. People need for live now environment them where they know they sleep and wake and afraid say by the time they do they clean, their lives and go they in danger. People for able for sleep and wake and allow them picking them for go to school without hindrance, and that they are living in a democratic state. We also they remind government of in commitment for fulfill and for promote and for protect fundamental human rights within all the provisions, and we include provisions the way the Universal Declaration of Human Rights say, we fundamentally and essentially also the hinge on the Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. We also they remind government of in commitment we make for promote the African Charter on Democracy, Elections and Governance.
Alright, during when President Bio take over, one thing we the government may try for do now for get Bintu Manitri, also we get different people and for talk on peace. Now the Bintu Manitri we pass, it don't reflect anyway inside the peace and development of the country.
Unfortunately, government not been done able up till now for really popularize the outcome of Bintumani 3. But since Bintumani 3 ended, we don't get increasing spate of violence in the country, and we think say that is really worrisome. Most of the events them don't exacerbate, we are exacerbated basically by either political or ethnic, diversity. We also don't deepen by the widespread of misinformation on the social media. So we think to say it behoves government, it is the responsibility of government for protecting citizens. Look at what happened na the Pademba Road prisons recently. It they create fear, it they create panic, and it they make people that feel say, we are heading for doom. It they make we feel say we are not secured in our own country. We are again waiting happen alone, sir. Just after that again, look what happened in Natumbo. So what this tells us is that, government does not seem to be in control. So we are saying that, the president must step up. The internal affairs of the state, as far as security is concerned, is worrisome. It is more worrying that if government they left all that things and they happen, come 2023, how we think say we go there.
Another people get this thinking say that because of the Boko political arrest we presently they go on at the country make the issue there all they arise.
Well, that is why we talk about the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Okay, for example, I am a civilian, I am not a politician. So if your political aspiration force you for violate me rights, if I not say I have a right as a citizen, as a civilian, okay? Equally so, I think say, politics not for only play when we are getting closer to elections, okay? I think it also behoves every political party in this country for come together and discharge their political responsibilities. Okay, and everything where they happen, the ring between the two political parties of the APC and the SLPP. We should be talking about a national agenda for fight COVID-19. People are dying, but what I have seen, in fact, now that most Sierra Leoneans know they take, coronavirus very seriously.
Some man they say
Probably because we not see no clean, 100 people that don't die today, tomorrow, 200 people that don't die, and we don't want that in this country.
If this kind of atmosphere continue for dinner the country, it gets any bad image where it is sent out to international body them?
Of course, in fact, number one, it undermine the peacefulness of the state because the indicators of peace are being undermined. It equally puts this country into retrogression. It make the development aspirations of the state will never be met.
Well, that's now the African Regional Director for Peace Africa Alliance Consulting Education and Training Center been the talk. Another interview with Usman Kamara.
All right, we continue the program. Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. Well, we they come over to the studio guests and still continue that path. They will Mr. Lahai talk about. They come over to the IGR as we see them pull statements, but then self waiting and not observed so far from the different violence them we don't be na the country. Good morning again, Mr. Lavali, and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Family, if I'm able to talk loud now, something they don't put them in nose and in mouth. This mask here all the inside. But on a serious note, I think say even before for talk about anything here, we don't see over the past 10 days now or so. The cases they will record over the past 10 days is about 80% of the cases they will record for the past since March 2nd, we'll record the first case. And it clearly, with the CCA community infections, they grow. So everybody needs to be serious about, worry about corona. We see a lot of people, and we take with time for talk to even people when are patients, and we telephone some patients and within the treatment center, and we ask them why why not come out early for let them come test and start treatment. A lot of people then they're afraid. So we say alongside this corona, there is a big element of stigma where people are just afraid, say me not going to even admit, I'm not going to even call 117. So now that point I want to start with, I'm glad to get somebody there. I want to let everybody with the inside government ministers, let try normalize this thing and let people test. People with celebrities in this country, go out, go test, go on television, normalize this thing.
You go start?
Emerson Bokari, I don't mind
for
test. You understand? Let everybody go test, Lord normalize. I mean, it happen in other countries, it happen in Ghana, where people really come out. We need for make let people know say corona and just like malaria, na sickness, let them not afraid. The more people and afraid, the more this disease will multiply in ways where it will create more conflict, more violence we'll not be able to handle. So now that recommendation I want to start with normal. And quickly in we report to do, we look at all the three violences the way they happen. Na Lunsa, na Freetown, and na Tumbo. So one of the things that we will see as the community infection they spike and restrictions they stop people in livelihood, they disrupt them, because I didn't say today, you way to go out every day, you go and come. They say no, you not for go out again, go and come, or you get for sit there for 3 days. Some people they talk say, in fact, me mango I get for go sell, me mango don't rot in. So people can organize, then they fet. So we see like now Lunsa, you get SL mining not there anymore. A number of young people and blame the government, say you cancel that contract, then you make one get work. The chief way did it, the young people then declare wanted and say you need to promote development, you corrupt development funds. So then declare wanted for days, then go into massive action, kill, stab the chief in nephew and burn some places there. Equally now the same COVID reaction happen Tumbo. In Tumbo, we get boku community grievances na Tumbo, but waiting spark Tumbo. Now we then say after the 3 days lockdown, a day I not get food, and if I go out on the seas, then the ration, whether they go out today, whether they go out today. The one day when they go out, they actually feel aggrieved. So then take the law into their hands, then begin. The point they make in all of this report, including what happened at Pandemba Road, as the disease they eat into we, as the disease they multiply, then grievances then get for Cam and get for Kamboku. But I think say maybe something Thomas would talk about within the president we talk about. But let us just imagine this situation really explode.
Mr. Lavalila just all you there. So you think say because of the COVID and the lockdown all they get now the main cause of the violence, I'll take you back to Ebola. Not so the first thing is Salone they get crisis. I mean even war. Nobody no go tell you say sit down house. Ebola been there. I believe say people afraid Ebola more past this COVID. Nobody no be tell you say sit down house. And we also get lockdown equally. Why you think say this indifference and people they say una sit down, let we all not get this sick, people therefore feel aggrieved where we don't get that kind of same circumstance here before.
Okay, the president in his speech, he talks, say it's coordinated. He say they then get evidence of dates and then get evidence of people and where they support her. So, and the president make a very, very pointed statement at the opposition, the main opposition, say people and they behind this. I think so what we need for see in the coming days, now the neutral role of the judiciary.
No, we can't talk about that. Now you start for talk about the reason them, we spark up them, violence them. So me they try for say now we know to the first thing this the country they get, then kind of crisis here. Why this different?
Yeah, okay, so maybe, just maybe they were exploited. But waiting we research try for establish now how COVID they come into this. But beyond COVID, if it is being exploited, then it's not to IGR in space for letting establish that whether it's exploited or not.
All right. Continue for the return of the program, Andrew Lavalley, Executive Director for Institute for Governance Research. Will they come back to you? The program they continue and will they come over to other studio guests now when a Valnera Edwin and an expert for democracy and good governance. Today this morning we talk of issues them where we don't they happen at the country this BNTM where like they cause tension in terms of violence in different communities them. They don't say where you don't work around issues we get to do with good governance and democracy as well. What in firstly you make up of the incidents them we don't happen this BNT and different parts of the country were related to violence?
Good morning again. We are there, I feel a bit disturbed because it's like a feeling of deja vu. I think so I don't sit on at this platform and many other similar platforms for discuss more or less the same issue. And it's very concerning because it is shows say as a country we still they struggle. We still fragile, and unfortunately over the years we not don't learn from various processes that we don't establish for let we move as a country. We don't get TRC, we don't get Vision 2025, we don't get Transformation Conference, we don't get the Bintumani 3. And up till now, even with the most recent Bintumani 3, we not really see tangible steps yet being taken for let we able move the nation forward based on the findings and the recommendations that we've been doing in the communique. And we also need to be reminded that it is not an institution that will bring peace in Sierra Leone. And at that make a reference to Bintumani 3. We're not going, number one, establishing the institution is going to add a burden to we already struggling economy. The institution, whether it could get the level of independence and space where if someone within the presidency, for example, do something, that institution they go able for write them a letter and say this is statement or this is action, is wrong and it ambog peace and national cohesion. We are yet to reach that level. So it's about then day-to-day interaction them, now go bring peace and national cohesion. And the incidents and where don't they happen, then a build-up of what don't they happen over time. It's not necessarily tied into the COVID. Because when you look at the situation based on reports received, it's under investigation though, in Tombo, not so just that money, the people then go vex so say, hey, this and that. It's something we don't build up over time. And I think so we all for understand say the country is wrong, the country is divided, it is highly partisan, people are not get justice, people are not get access to even basic things. A lot of things don't happen, we don't hinge on the human dignity. The way they don't sack people in a work, the way it's difficult for let people and get money for take care of their family, all that and they aggrieve people there. And when you hinge on the human dignity of an individual, you really hurt them to the core. It's very challenging for bounce back. It takes time for bounce back because now the core of inhumanity now you don't hinge on so. And so the issues there are so now then they affect we so now where like I say over the years. And if you look at the TLC report, it come out to the same thing. Exclusion, marginalization, the lack of access to basic services, the inefficiency, corruption. You feel say certain state institutions are compromised, they know they deliver justice. Citizens can't go and say I get this issue or somebody do me something and I go able for get justice. all of them thing and they don't they now then cause the war. And even after the war, over 20 years on, we still they come back and talk about the issues. Even as we they say youths then they do this, or misguided youths then they do A, B, and C. What they do, we condemn violence in all its forms. We all get small issue we will get concerned about, but violence is definitely and certainly not the answer. But then we need to go back and ask, why then youths they are always they resort to violence? Waiting do the state institution, waiting do them community structure. We they say then get parents, we get for go back, the social fabric, is it still in order? Where people then come off from homes, where people then they will really bring them up well, where the paramount chief, the village head, and respectable people that like when we self been they grow up, respectable people that use for live within the communities, they were not politicians. They were just respectable people. And because of that absence there, that makes these are some of the reasons why you they see youth there, then they be or the misguided youth, then they be so violent. And they know they see example. You know, when they call certain names there around you, they see say a number of governments then they come, then they get thugs. Well, then they get the youth or the youther or the youth man. Then go they do all kinds of bad thing, funny thing, and they're encouraged. Until you go see maybe a change of government, then I go see police go all there. So that's the example they have, and at the end then they follow.
So what we miss? Is it that from the community level, where then structures and the way you don't talk about so not they in place? Now that we miss and completely, or now listen state authorities them, not been listening, like how you say, you don't tell you they see the signs of this coming. Now listen, people not been listening for all of follow the signs them for say we go reach to the kind of violence here where we see so now.
Well, you know, leadership don't be a deficit in this country since post-independence. And leadership across the board. And when all them things, they are even though they in this crisis, who that don't come out, where are the moral guarantors? Where people live, where for stand up and say, no, enough is enough. Whether na the misguided youth them, whether na the political parties, whether na the police, whether na the judiciary, where are people in the society, we stand above board, we get the integrity for able for say, Mr. President, this thing is not right, or Mr. Chief Justice, this thing is not right, or una then youth low, sit down low talk. Waiting at this point, we don't have them. And so that leadership, they don't be lost over the years. People, they don't compromise themselves. Sierra Leoneans, they don't allow party politics for going to everything. And people, they not trust party politics issue. But then everybody, every sector don't get imbibed. And at that day, now the major issue we make with they get all them challenge there.
All right, continue for the between the program in Avalon Edwin. We they come over to the government spokesman, the presidential spokesman, sorry, and also press secretary Yusuf Keke Thomas Sandy. Mr. Sandy, you don't hear from we two guests them and other forum them where people you know like similar sentiments them we see Usai president address the nation on Friday. Again, that depend on Usai they all get arguments on that particular speech they can't talk about now. But on the whole, summarize for we what the president talk on Friday.
Well, I want for tell Valnora and also Andu thank you for the contribution with Dengi. But just before I go to the speech, I think Andu raised one issue about say because of the COVID pressure and a few things there. Of course, like you say, asthma, Ebola be there at this country. People have been locked down. People have no, be the go born chief heroes. People have been go born community center. They not be do that. And also, Valnora also talk about say, there are other issues about exclusion, lack of basic amenities, marginalization. But we also know, that 11 years, all of them in the beginning of this country, people were suppressed. For instance, we political party office in March 2009, they invade, then go rape people, them beat people, all of them things they be there, But we not be see the kind calculated, the kind planned way a set of people that they do this. So the president in speech, I can summarize that in threefold. One, he addressed one core and very important thing where I feel say the reaction of which not happened in the past couple of weeks when this issue of terrorist acts by people way they do for a political gain. Because we know say the definition of terrorism is very simple and say in a way you engage in violence against persons, property or the government with the sole purpose of political gain. So that's clear. I'll give you an example. So for instance, on the prison break, we know say on the 19th of April, we all know Doyaribo Adebayo in Odidaway the Pool. He writes on Facebook say that then they give mother by 10 days. Then go born Panemba Road. So it was premeditated, it was planned. And on the 29th, something happened. So this is not something where it just happened out of the blues. Information being in the public and then kind of so that now one. So one core message where the president be wanging for say enough is enough. We got to address this issue about people doing terrorist acts, and terrorism clear. If you do anything against ordinary people, against government property, and against what they call with the political aim, like what I explained, now terrorism. But also, secondly, the president also took time in the message for highlight all what he don't do in strides we don't take in personal efforts for how to consolidate with peace. So, for instance, I talk about the Bintumani conference. He talk about the Senway Bisen and the Honorable Vice President for Go Makeni, even when we get the Bintumani conference, where we main opposition party fail for participate, but President no she don't do. President and it happen in May. President make sure say in June, he tell the Vice President for make Igona Makeni for go engage the former president. But in all this stop in September again, the president also called them back in the State House for engage them for see how go will put things together for make a consolidate to peace. Then do communicate out of that day where then talk about various things them. So presidents consistently don't show leadership for try for bring political parties together, especially the All People's Congress, for say how consolidate to peace. But part of also the message the presidents give, now the fact say it's very important for make we able to highlight the democratic gains. So for instance in the speech talk about say Sludge don't admit say there is free press. Of course, there are challenges, and we, as a government, the president is very committed to make sure, say, the libel law, we're very obnoxious, we repeal them now with the parliament, So, civil society organizations in denial, and who then denial, and Vanilla, time and again, they all governments to account, publicly, without any reprisal, without any fear, Community leaders, labor organizations, they all express their rights, So, even as a country, as a democracy, in the speech, presidents go on and on for talk, say, we not to be blinded by anger. We get shared values. We for continue for consolidate the peace. So in the inaugural speech, in the speech where he take over, speeches after speeches, president don't call everybody for all work together as a country. But also he don't reach them as commander-in-chief. For make them very clear, say, he gets a responsibility to protect the lives and property of citizens of this country. So therefore, no set of people not go disturb with peace, not go attack government property, and not go attack citizens them. Because for instance, when you get young people away, they're gonna they go attack telecommunication installations. Those are things that will go at the core of our government for make sure say you private citizens they're able to invest and they are protected. So these are the areas they will think say now areas the president raised. But me and my opinion, the president's opinion, these are terrorist acts, clear and simple, because they are premeditated, they were planned. In Lonsa, in Tombo, and even Panemba Road, people knew, and then obviously it came to be.
We can't talk about what you wanna do for make happen. As you self don't admit say na planned and information we wanna be know about. Continue for the within the program. We'll go for this short break.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Eds Allied, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for the boss man them. With Million Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, Download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store or go na Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
All right, we continue with the program Good Morning Salone. We come to you from 98.1 FM. 8 o'clock now the time for most studio clock. And they come over to Yusuf Keke Thomas and the way summarize waiting president talk on Friday. Now let me look at the first talk where you say now be a planned attack, especially the one na Pademba Road. Somebody where they listen go on for say if a planned government we don't get the intelligence, why una left sit down it happen?
Well, of course, like any action we plan, government intelligence obviously they work, and now make immediately after the incident happen, president obviously make changes. He definitely sacked the Minister of Internal Affairs because we feel say actions would have been taking place for make you forestall and continue.
So government take the responsibility?
Well, government gets responsibility for protect the lives of all Sierra Leoneans and property of Sierra Leoneans. Then a government responsibility. And because they're a government responsibility, now made the president very clear that anybody with the incite, you undertake, you sponsor people away they cause terrorist act. Government and the president say we don't declare war against you now. And these are the same war we declare against indiscipline, poverty and corruption. And this now one against terrorist people. What I think say, because at the end of the day, Asma, this is very important. At the end of the day, it's not about political parties. It's about just making sure say you not just to get set of people where they incite young people. So for instance, I'll give you an example. In Tombo, the Edmame they talk say the young man even they listen to this Adebayo audio, we all they incite them and then can't see. So we also know say there are people who are inciting. In Lonsa, Usman Kanke concept when I be former MP of APC, now they only arrest when they do the investigation. This was the former APC MP. So when we they say there are evidence of people where they participate, investigation they go on. But that is clear for tell you say people them they behind the acts they are happen. And it's unfortunate, and the president is a bit disappointed because in his speech, because even the APC then pull them press release, then say presidents describe them as terrorists. You don't describe APC as terrorists. They are members of APC where they involved in terrorist acts. And those are the people where I think say we all as a country united. We for able make sure say we condemn them. Even in the press release them pull yesterday. Make an end this. They not even left a line for condemn Lonsa, Tombo, and Pademba Road. No condemnation was given.
So for the president,
and that is the silence.
So for the president, at this stage, all the incidents and maybe don't they happen. This speech where he makes on the 8th of May, for him, na thing we na like national call for peace and unity, na the message and the way he send on a further incitements and we see come from the speech.
Well, I can tell you, the speech divided into three things. The first one, the president came out very strongly for tell people that we engage in terrorist acts and say enough is enough. And this is something we won't accept anymore.
So for peace,
as a government,
we need at this time the content to be the
But also in the speech, President talk throughout about we democracy. In fact, paragraph 19, it said in peaceful democracy, citizens they strive for come together, for work together. He even make reference to Ramadan. At a time like this, where all man they eat from the same place, the same Muslim, the same community. So there are values, there are things that we talk about. Over and over, president in speech, even Bintumani, he spoke lengthily about how for come together, how for consolidate with peace, and therefore how for make sure say we put things in place for development. So over and over, not only speeches, they do actions. We don't invite the former president and Eskroma, the APC to dialogue, to things there. So he has done everything, but it don't reach a point where people have for no say. The security of the state and people's life and property lies with the government responsibility, and therefore actions will be taken very harshly on people already engaged in terrorist acts.
All right, so we'll come back to Yusuf Keke Thomas Sandela. Just ask the same question to Valnora Edwin. Yusuf, I guess you've been listening to the president's speech and you don't follow conversation them way don't they come from where the president be making speech on the 8th of May. What do you think about the message, the content of that speech, the way the president's been make last week Friday?
So, my analysis is based on the fact that I'm a citizen of Sierra Leone, because I hear man say it depends on side they. I know the any side. I know on the any side. This are day na Sierra Leone, and as a citizen of Sierra Leone, and I get a right as a citizen for comments on the speech of the president. I see three aspects of him as a person emerge. One, as the father of the nation. Maybe the first 6 or 7 paragraph shows as a father of the nation, you talk about those things that bind us together, in efforts that we don't make for bring various groups of people and together, and those things where we for highlight and use, you talk about the COVID, it's a common fight, and I think that is good. The second aspect is as a politician, because you talk about the ruling party and the issue about them being terrorists and all of that, or some of them being their behavior, they depict say they're not terrorists. And I think the third part, the soldier in I'm coming, because it's like almost declaring war. So we go did harshly, we go this. I think it's good to talk tough, because we don't want this level of lawlessness. But I think there should have been a reconciliatory role where it been start up with as the father of the nation. Because when you be papa, you they get different kind of picking there. Where they had even an institution, you they get different kind of people there where you get for manage. And the underlying goal is you have to bring them together. At the end, there should have been some semblance or some aspect that there is room. We know say maybe it's happening behind the scene, but there is room and there is opportunity for dialogue and further engagement. Though we go and clamp down on people them way lawless. Because even when you talk about using the law and addressing the issues according to the law therefore be administered proportionately, not harshly, not hard as the terms the way he used. And so those three aspects can come out. And I think say we need for carefully look at the three issues then they, the three things then way, the three characters then we depict, and start up with the first one, where it should say I'm the father of the nation, and he therefore continue to be the father of the nation. So though you might have citizens there within the society, we always have a problem when you begin analyze them as members of the opposition. I think so we force identity now as Sierra Leoneans and as citizens. And when people misbehave, let we use that for whether na police would they detain them or charge them, go court or whatever na the measure. But when you start wearing that cloth of, oh, they're a member of the opposition, and begin approaching from that dimension, it not go bring peace, it not go be national cohesion, and all the efforts the way they make for we able for coexist, it go be threatened.
All right, continue for the between at the studio. Valera Edwin, we go come back to you. The same question they go to Andula Valley. What in yourself make up of the content of the speech where the president will make on the 8th of May?
I've done the look at all of the Boku social media forums. And I think all the sides then get consensus on one thing. They say the speech been strong, hard, accusatory, and not reaching across. Strong, hard, accusatory, and not reaching across. So you see, say some people they talk say yes, now the time this for be strong, for be hard, for be accusatory, let you not reach across, because now the way down the way you go salvage. So people then they say by being strong, hard, accusatory, not reaching across, they try for single out like waiting for Nora they say people them irrespective of political parties, waiting they behind this problem there, and single them out and really bring them to book for punishment. But I think say beyond the speech, the fundamental challenge we would get in Sierra Leone, and I've been talking last week now, one forum we get, is a question of accountability. Accountability now and accountability yesterday. So you see say if there are forces behind waiting they happen, you begin if I ask why is it that? Why we get forces then behind the thing that happen within COVID? Like we say we don't report we innocently because we not get security intelligence at our disposal. We realize it. People then get innocent, they make innocent expression of right because of the kind of conditions within they live. So but if Sierra Leone right now, you be Mendeo, you be Timmy, you be Loco, you be Limba, whatever, majority of Sierra Leoneans, they know they really enjoy and God given space will get. So it not just happen with bio, it's been sad accumulation. Some people and then they born them, they know they ever enjoy it and die. They know they ever get the kind livelihood say and die. So the question would they ask yourself, between now and the future, where they come, where they are ahead of we. What you will need for put in place for let make sure say this country have become a better place for we. And watch at the landscape. We see say you get tension over parliament. You get some people and they right now they talk say the 10 cases then with the judiciaries, swatch up from we. It's a source of frustration. I don't know if we'll be here, but one of the MPs then we've been saying it was affected by the decisions where they make them claims and they. So on Valnora's point about ensuring that we get justice, we get free and fair systems, then and they all, if you know they, it will come to play at a time like this. So me also agree with the president in many ways. If at all he talks say I don't get evidence, in the coming days we want to see a judicial panel. We go sit down for the evidence and let it be open. Would that day right now they don't arrest, we not get any business. Once see the courts they talk say we apologize, would they even compensate you? We apologize to arrest you, not get any business. Would that day where they behind waiting they happen, let the person be punished. But the question where people they talk say where you bring calm, where you call a political party they actually label. I think so we need to be very good at trying to pinpoint inside the problem that tagging the group. Okay. Because you have many people in APC that are very good people. You have people in other political parties in SLPP that are not so good people. So if I know talk say now Mr. X, Mr. Y, we don't know say that they behind this and then they use resources for letting finance. And the president talks say this thing is financed. Then people then declare date. It means then get the details. Okay. So if I know go into the thing and they, but the question as to whether this is not the time, this for reconciliation, I think say it all depends on the pressures where they feel. Sometimes maybe the pressure where they feel say this is not the time, this will I say this say for life for stall. And when don't don't happen, I watch social media forums. I see say the WhatsApp forums they're largely quiet. Okay. In terms of the way we be inflamed, we see say uncharacteristically Sierra Leone WhatsApp forum the boku inflammation reduce. But whether or not that reduction they way it quiet, it actually means the problem don't go away until the justice system actually brings a book. Okay. Which happen, yeah.
Continue for the week the program. Andola Valley and the other studio guest team will come back to Una. We'll go for the short break where we continue the program.
Better don't come. Now Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Like we savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, na Salone for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme, ide. We branch and they all love but na Salone. Boko no kenema, we ide. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we ide. Jala Freetown loan sa, we ide. And my 91, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank na Salone for me and you. Union Salone Banco, Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
Right, 14 minutes after 8, now the time for most studio clock. We already bring this Monday edition of the program. Mina Asma James.
And Mabel Kaba.
We come back to his studio guest them, and I want to remember when I say we get Andola Valley from the IGR, Valnora doing democracy experts, and also Yusuf Keke Thomas Sandy from State House. Now, Mr. Sandila, come back to you. Where you start with the talk, you make mention of name of people and where you feel say post on social media and later waiting in post we see happen. But one also go on for say like where and will be the talk. There are names both parties wey also they make audios they send out na the social media. And we also see Usai, a residence minister, again do even one go on for say more than waiting again, then people then do all